The majesty of the world's alpine ranges and the unique creatures of those high countries have gripped the adventurous since the very first reports of them began filtering back to civilization. Grand mountain ranges epitomize freedom and fortitude, which, then and now, is the living spirit of the mountain hunter. Certainly the truest vision of the world's unspoiled apex is the male wild sheep. The wild ram embodies the pomp, the regal dignity, and the splendor of the high country like no other animal. He is the intriguing monarch of the mountaintops, a superstar among a hunting culture that celebrates his existence and longs to hunt him even though he is always another 4-hour climb away. As Theodore Roosevelt once wrote, "He is wary. Great skill and caution must be shown in approaching him, and no one but a good climber, with a steady head, sound lungs, and trained muscles, can successfully hunt him in his own rugged fastness." Whether it's sheep or sheep country, somewhere along the way, our fascination and appreciation for both has led us to conservation and stewardship. This is the itch we cannot scratch. The simple truth in today's world is, hunters put and keep sheep on the mountain. Without the monies and the aggressive observation-based input, the love of sheep by sheep hunters, the presently steady course of the wild sheep's existence on Earth will unquestionably be compromised. It is for all these reasons and more that the Mountain Hunter Hall of Fame exists. As the highest honor the Wild Sheep Foundation bestows, being an accomplished mountain hunter is only an entry-level checkmark on a long list of eligibility criteria. Hall of Fame inductees are therefore more than just sheep hunters. They personify the highest standards of a land, wildlife, and hunting ethic. They are a shining example to their peers within and outside the hunting community, and they have given back in time, passion, leadership, and resources to wild sheep, conservation, and the mission of the Wild Sheep Foundation itself. The lure of sheep country has claimed many souls. One such soul was Jack O'Connor, whose writing prose about the grand sheep hunt drew man to mountain like a magnet. He once wrote, "The sheep hunter is willing to climb until his lungs are bursting, to walk until his legs are dead and weary, to grow hungry and thirsty for great rewards. There is no halfway." The rewards of our Ironman sport are many, but none is greater than induction into the Mountain Hunter Hall of Fame. Recognition and awards are what we give to individuals. Ensuring that our wild sheep receive the necessary management and protection befitting of mountain royalty is why we give. Welcome to the Mountain Hunter Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome WSF Director and Mountain Hunter Hall of Fame Committee member, Mr. Tony Caligari.
Thank you, everyone. Now, some of you might wonder, well, I am presenting this award and not a regular MC, Alan Smith. Well, if you were at the Ram Awards yesterday and you heard his monkey joke, then you might understand why he is banned from the wild sheep stage until further notice. So because of that little politically incorrect episode and frankly not so funny joke, you're stuck with me. So let's get on with the presentation. This year's inductee is one of the most accomplished mountain hunters in the world. He's also a TV host, a guitar-playing rock and roll icon, a best-selling novelist, and as a hunter, he has few peers, at least male peers. Actually, Renee Snyder has probably shot twice as many sheep as he has, but we're not going to get into that. But all joking aside, he has taken every SCI slam that you can take, the Big Five of Africa, 2 fanaz, 37 species of wild sheep, an additional 33 capra species, and he's been given every major award that can be awarded, including the Weatherby and the Conklin. He gives back tremendously to this organization with his time, his treasure, and especially his talents. Ladies and gentlemen, the real reason that Alan Smith can't present tonight's award is because Alan Smith is actually the recipient of tonight's award. It's fitting that Alan is capping off his awards career with tonight's induction because wild sheep and wild places own his heart. I can confidently say that his awards career is over because he's won everything you can win. There's nothing else he can win, except for the Artemis. And if he grows his hair any longer, we might give him that too. I planned on saying some other things about him, but on our way up here, he reminded me that he loves to play last microphone, and he's pretty good at it, so I'm not going to say much more. But I am proud to call him my friend, and friends shouldn't be afraid to ask other friends for favors, and I'm only going to ask him for one, and that's, Alan, please no more monkey jokes tonight. But tonight's his night, so I'm going to exit stage right. But before I go, I'd be remiss that if I didn't remind this audience what he's often said himself. Y'all don't realize how many guides J. Alan Smith has had to sleep with to get this award. Ladies and gentlemen, straight from the Himalayas, J. Alan Smith.
Wow. Tony. So I'm extremely nervous, which is rare for me. But getting this award is a really big deal. And what's really strange for me is I was really surprised when they told me that they were giving me the award this year. Because usually it's me up here giving it to some old guy. And this year, some old guy is giving it to me. I told you. But, you know, getting old is a relative term. Let's face it. It's a state of mind. I mean, my wife tells me all the time that I have the maturity level of a 16-year-old, so I figure, hey, I got that going for me. And when you look up on the screen, I mean, do you really see an old, holy crap. Where'd the old fart come from? Why didn't you guys tell me? Well, I'm up here to get this award, and now I've got kind of mixed emotions about it because apparently it is for old guys. So I'll give you a little history myself to explain some of what's happened in my lifetime. When I was in elementary school, I was kicked out of elementary school twice. And when I went to junior high school, I was also kicked out of junior high school. And when I was in high school, I was kicked out twice, and on the second time, they made me leave the school district. Apparently, I have some authority issues, so, and it was tough. I mean, you can imagine as a kid the trauma that created in my life, and to have parents and teachers and, you know, girls' parents saying things like, you know, Alan Smith, you are never going to amount to anything. Now, nowadays, you can't even say that. I mean, you'd probably get thrown in jail if a teacher ever said something like that. But it's that kind of stuff that drove me on. I mean, it made me the man I am today. And I really wish that a lot of those teachers and the haters and the principals and the girls' parents could be here tonight so that they could see that me, Alan Smith, the guy they doubted, is up here on stage right now getting an award for killing poor defenseless animals. Did I show them wrong or what? I told them I'd be somebody. Now, Tony stole half my material, so now I'm ad-libbing. Okay, we got an auction coming up. Let's get to the serious part. We got an auction coming up, and I mentioned this last year at the members' breakfast, and I'd like to repeat it. Everybody I know in this room is self-made, right? Hard workers, entrepreneurs, people that have worked their butts off to get to the stage where you could be here tonight for this auction. And when I look around this room, I don't see that many kids. There's a few here, but as a rule of thumb, most of you left your children at home. So when this auction comes up later, your kids are not here. And you know that you need a sheep hunt. You deserve it. You need to go to Tanzania and kill a bunch of stuff. And if you buy that stuff tonight, they won't know. No one's going to tell them because the guy sitting at the table with you is doing the same damn thing. So buy lots of stuff, spend money on this great organization that we're involved in. And in closing, I would like to say thank you to all of you. And I would also like to dedicate this award tonight to my mentor, the guy who got me started. We lost him last week. I'd like to dedicate this award to Chris Kleinberger. Thank you, Chris. And thank you all very much for having me. This is a true honor. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 Mountain Hunter Hall of Fame inductee, J. Allen Smith.